Golden Glue, I still love you, brother.
But yeah, it's Jhin into Ashe therapy.
Okay,
It did not work.
for bottom lane, things that are still up, there are still more sins that can be committed. Varus, Varus and
Angle you're gonna look at.
Varus, Ezreal, you know, Karma is not banned this time around, so there's a lot more in the bottom lane.
Like you're saying, I mean, Varus is a perm ban generally. And
I like Karma Ezreal so much, though.
I think it's gonna be a trade, right? Like, surely you don't ban it now. You probably just go for a trade, take out Karma for the Varus.
Okay, let's see. What do we got? Orianna, Akali, also banned out. A couple mid laners targeted here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because I feel like at this point you have 2 Giga OPs that are always perm banned. If you ban one, the other team just gets the other one for free, right? Like you gotta trade. So if they are gonna get the potential Karma Ezreal here, which is I'm assuming what they will take, and then we have to see what the pairing is gonna be with the
You could do Karma and then grab your jungler instead here.
Yeah.
Because you obviously know they're not gonna.
I just mean for the 2v2.
Yeah. You obviously you know they're not gonna grab the Ezreal, so. Could do that.
Ezreal support.
I was about to facetiously make that joke.
Just wait until next season. Wait, next week even with the new season, you can have jungle Ezreals and you can have mid lane Ezreals next season. So maybe we're 1 week too early.
I still have a long-seated problem with jungle Ezreal because he ruins jungle items for Runeblade, Spirit of Elder Lizard, everything that's made for junglers, Ezreal just takes and he ruins it and makes the devs even nerf and remove it.
I mean, I used it every time that it was.
It's part of the problem.
You know what? The problem is too big, Flyers. If you don't become part of it, then you're just going to be on the receiving end. Anyways, they did exactly as I said.
Become part of the problem.
Exactly.
This is not life advice. Don't.
We got all kinds of life advice. Raz is like, yeah, everyone falls out of touch eventually. And Kobe's like, if people are causing problems, just cause problems too. It's easier than
fixing. You need to be part of the problem.
It is a lot easier than fixing.
It's true. It's true.
Well, Josedeodo was a problem last game, and he's on the Xin Zhao this game. I feel like he's going to be a problem for Sentinels again.
Yeah. So they do the kind of expected opener here. You grab this in, which, as you're saying, can work really well when you have Karma powering it up, and so they'll probably just go for the Ezreal to round it out, so Ezreal doesn't get banned in the next couple of bans from Sentinels.
Yeah.
Trundle is always a decent answer into Xin early on because you can win the duels, and your pillar is a very useful tool in picking off Xin in the mid game because he has no escapes, of course. That plus Bard makes me think Sentinels actually have a lot of pick potential here, so I kind of do like what they're cooking. Plus, it does dissuade Morgan from now going for a blind, pick on a tank or anything like that because you already have the Trundle. So it's kind of working on a couple of fronts here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I will say the Bard obviously is a strong laner, can be powerful, but when you already know that one of the carriers is Ezreal, like you know that Ezreal was going to be coming through once we saw the Karma, like that was just going to happen. And QUID is going to have the info that you are playing against a Bard, so he doesn't have to play a low mobility champion either. Bard, I always feel like, is so much more difficult to pilot when you're playing against 2 champions with dashes that are the ones you're trying to hit. It makes it way more difficult.
You're not getting that guaranteed value by firing off the Tempered Fate and demanding a flash as a response at least. But going into our second half of the bans here, Sylas banned away on the Sentinel side while Yorick is the ban for TL.
Well, another one of Morgan's strong champions is Gnar, or they could go full poke with a Jace. So the Yorick ban actually does protect against a couple of those top lane picks for Morgan. Jace was banned, never mind. So they don't need further protection against that, but the Gnar could be an option for him because that's a very versatile champ, right? You know, it can side lane, it can play team fights as well, so.
All right, let's start the last. Okay, the Annie banned away again. Remember, this was one of the second half bans in game number 1 as well. What's the last one going to be here for Sentinels alongside the Sylas?
Yeah, the Sylas is interesting to me. I'm just trying to think, is it just that Impact just wants to blind the Gnar? Like, that kind of has to be something like that because, generally you are thinking about the answers that Sylas is really, really scary to. Gnar, like you mentioned, things like Alistar, but obviously that's not this game. Things like Malphite, but I don't think Malphite really fits this game. So it kind of feels like Impact probably wants to play the Gnar, and that's kind of like my best guess. So you know, both the Jax and the Silas ban are things that can be a little bit annoying for Gnar. And it's probably just going to be some sort of safe blind, but Morgan could even just take it himself, and then the Silas ban ends up selfing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because of they're the ones who banned the Yorick to set up. I think the Silas is probably opening for mid lane there for DARKWINGS. Only really like Photon used it as the counter for top side.
There's not a lot of mid lane matchups that I'm thinking about.
So Varus swap.
Okay, Varus top for Impact, Caitlyn Bard bottom.
This is a really good pivot, honestly, because the Caitlyn Bard is quite good to or can be good versus the Ezreal Karma. It depends on if you hit your skill shots.
I love TFU. I think that makes so much sense. If you go TF into the Varus, like have fun playing the side lane. And honestly, I mean, Impact, maybe I am being unfair because he has been playing so many different champions this year. He was most fearless player in lock-in. He's been playing a lot of different stuff in this split. But he is the top laner that I would think would be most, like, I would expect the least, excuse me, I would expect the least to play the Varus top. Like, it just does not feel like an Impact champion to me at all. I don't know, maybe he's going to totally prove me wrong, but I'm struggling to see Impact on an AD carry.
I also like this pivot, though. So instead of going for the TF to do, TF ults, of course, for the side lanes to punish both the Varus and the Caitlyn Bard lane here, if you go a LeBlanc, it is another poke champion when you're looking at no point and click CC.
Yeah.
It is so hard to punish QUID later on in the game. It's like Impact has to be a sniper and just nail him with the Varus ultimate. Otherwise, you cannot do much against this LeBlanc poking you out and finding angles. And QUID did have a very good opening game here. Plus, it gives you a very good mid jungle with this.
3 targets this game.
I have to call out the opening all chat here because Impact, obviously a very long time Team Liquid former member, and Yeon here is immediately spamming in chat, XD all caps, Impact, you're a changed man. Ha ha ha, what's up? Obviously referring to the Varus. There is history here as far as when Impact was on the team with Yeon, him trying to get him to play top lane Varus or something.
So the chat we are showing, it's very different than when it's happening because it's saying open as though like, it makes it seem like he's saying open.
The next line.
It's open-minded. Yeah, he's saying he's open-minded. Yeah. So that's very different than just like open, we lost, you know?
I thought that's what I interpreted.
That's what open generally means when you see it in solo queue is like open nexus, but he's saying he's open-minded.
That's an unfortunate cutoff of the chat lines. There were 3 more lines after that. So Impact, this is the history that we are talking about, and his record versus Team Liquid.
Yep, as well as, you know, his record on Team Liquid, almost 65%. It was with them, obviously, through a lot of their success, this massive title run that they had, the back-to-back-to-back-to-back. And against TL, has done pretty well considering how dominant they are, but is a little bit below that 50-50.
And the most surprising part about that last stats is his record versus TL after getting kicked is the positive one. 2-1. Sentinels, of course, did get the upset and won the first time around. This is a champion pool thing you are alluding to, though, quite early on, where Impact has played a significant amount of champions, but not necessarily the main tanks that people think of. I will say, though, Shen is a classic Impact tank, and, of course, the Galio up there as well.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 3 champions that I think, if you asked people other than Impact, because I know when I talk to him, he doesn't really view himself as a tank player. He just views himself as like a meta player, right? He'll play whatever he thinks is strong. But we will get back to that because we have Raz standing by with Golden Glue.
Oh, don't you worry, guys. We're continuing the conversation. I have Golden Glue right next to me, and we're going to be talking about the Impact Varus top lane. He's a new man. He's a changed man, is he?
Yeah, you know, we're very open-minded, dude. You know, like Hongdae guy. That's us in draft today.
Is that a saying, by the way? Because he typed that in the chat just now.
Yeah, it's a saying. You haven't heard it? You're not chronically online enough, then. Yeah.
Apparently not. You're going up against 2 coaches that you know very well. Spawn, who's just in the country, and also your former assistant coach. Is there any banter, anything, any kind of conversation you guys had coming into this?
No, I got to see them before the game, and we chatted a little bit. But it's all fun and games. You know, they're kind of teasing about all our flex picks, and then I was just talking about to them how it didn't work out for us last game. So, yeah, they're good guys, and I love to play and compete against them.
All right, sweet. Just last question before we go. Is there anything that you want to see different from the last game to this one?
I hope we don't get rolled like we did last game, man. That was a stomp. I think we had like a lot of control in mid-bottom, and we didn't really translate it into much. I think this game we have a bit spicy lanes, right? We have Vayne into Gnar, and the mid-match was also spicy. So I hope to see that we track their jungle. Uh-oh, Zinzal's wrapping around top as we speak. I was gonna say track their jungle well and we don't die to ganks, but
let's see how it goes. Take it away, Grayson.
Is he fine? He's fine. He has burned 2 suns. Oh my god, he didn't flash. Oh my god.
There's the response to that one. I'm gonna send this one straight to the casters. I appreciate it, Grayson. You can go back to the room. There it is.
I think we need to cut out the part of that interview after we have another gank here, though, Flowers.
Yeah, HamBak showing up, trying to gank QUID. The distortion gets him away initially. The chain just roots HamBak up. QUID does have to flash at least, so they will get the summoner spell out of the LeBlanc there. But one thing that I did want to mention real quick as well, talking about summoner spells, Impact has exhaust on the Varus.
Well,
so
he did have it.
Yeah, he had exhaust. He used exhaust, and now
he died, and he used flash and died also. So
I love the fact that Jose targeted him early, because non-teleport top laner getting punished early, it's just nightmare mode instantly.
Yeah, it is really, really tough. Of course, it's not as bad this season because you have home guards and all that, but still brutal, and Morgan got the kill.
Did the fact that he has exhaust bait himself into thinking I can live without flashing because I will exhaust this guy? Might actually be part of the problem, because as Golden Glue is saying, oh, he didn't flash early, and then he still flashed late, Flowers.
Yeah.
That's double bad. My favorite part about the interview, though, is we need to cut out the little insert of the question. Raz says, any last words, Golden Glue?
Uh-oh.
Well, any last words? Huhi, he has to flash away, barely stays alive on his Bard, as now it's another 1v1 up here on the top side. Morgan is quickly going to make it an unfair fight, though. Impact still trying to get away. There's your win becomes lightning, but it doesn't hit the target. So Impact lives this time, but, you know, he's got to hoof it all the way back once he recalls.
Any last words, Golden Glue? I hope we don't get rolled. That's the end of the quote.
Yeah, that was the best possible
I hope
response.
we don't get rolled.
I mean, that immediately into watching the hope fade from his eyes as his top laner
He's
dies.
like, is he fine? He
he just
flash.
used both summoners. Oh, he didn't flash.
Okay.
The double, oh my god, at the end of it too was just... So
Being a coach isn't stressful at all.
Yeah, Raz, please go check on Golden Glue. We got to make sure he's okay. QUID's under a little bit of threat here from DARKWINGS as he goes between worlds, but CoreJJ is ready to show up, making sure his mid laner stays safe here.
Narrator, they did get rolled.
Yeah, this is already a 1,000
In game number one, the rolling is still a process of rolling here, okay?
They're getting momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, we've got control over this topside river and Scuttle Crab here for Team Liquid. Impact wants to walk down. Josedeodo is going to see the Varus immediately. Finds the third talent strike there onto HamBak. The Trundle doesn't have an ulti to keep himself tanky. Josedeodo gets the kill. He's still alive, but he does finally fall. Huhi hanging around, but does not want to stick around all the way for this one, as Impact is trapped in the grub pit as a lone Varus. He is not getting out of this one.
The rolling continues.
Yep, that snowball's getting bigger. We'll put it like that. The
rolling will continue until morale improves. This is not going great for the Sentinels.
They've been rolled, but they haven't been smoked yet.
Debatable after game one. Was 23 minutes.
Let's take another look at this topside rolling.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, Impact comes down, but they know he has no flash. They try to go in. They use the Chains of Corruption. They're hoping, hey, maybe we can burst down Jose. But the fact that Core is here early buys so much time with the Mantra Inspires, with the shields coming out, makes it just way too hard for them to be able to take him down.
And I have to say, as funny as the story is, the TL side of this, Flowers, you are enjoying this. Your eyes are so big.
Once you start doing the thing where you push your own cheeks up and do like the blowfish face, you know that you're just like, you're on another planet right now. Despair has consumed this man's soul.
I think I might have started to get numb to the Golden Glue reactions.
They're never going to get old for me, man. There's your wallop from Morgan. Exhaust thrown out by Impact to try to keep himself protected enough to survive this. Morgan's going to miss the boulder toss there. Steps right on up, does get rooted. Morgan is low. Oh. It's actually the 1v1 win there for Impact, but this is the fourth if you count the
the topside river fight time that Josedeodo has showed up. He knows there's an enemy top lane AD carry, and he is Zhao. The assignment is understood and accepted. Sentinel's going to go ahead and begin the dragon themselves, at least, as QUID goes aggressive here towards Darkwings, is going to find that second Chains of Corruption. Flash Wind becomes lightning, but it misses. Josedeodo doesn't quite have the distance, and Darkwings gets away.
Ooh, just barely short on that one.
Yeah, bot lane now. Problems for CoreJJ and Team Liquid as Sentinels manages to pick up a kill.
Problems for Core, solutions for Sentinels, perhaps.
Nice sidestep there by Yeon, getting out of the way of the Tempered Fate just in time. Even in the 1v2, he is undeterred. True Shot Barrage collides with Rahel, but not enough damage for Yeon to try to finish this one.
Yeah, huhi was really trying to grab him with the binding there, but he got 2 minions, and so Yeon is able to Arcane Shift forward, get some damage done. Jose is back.
Here it is again.
By the way, Impact is for sure counting the number of times that he's going top. Every top laner keeps a tally of every jungler every time they show their faces up here. Now he has no flash.
This is bullying the elderly.
No, this, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when I played normals or flex queue with you, and you're like, hey man, can we get a gank top? This guy's already been here 5 times.
He keeps a tally, does he?
I'm like, don't worry, we got dragon.
Yeah, I can count the ganks because I can't count the minions I'm getting, so I'm not getting any.
It is worth being said, though, Sentinels, you know, trying to salvage something here on the bottom side of the map, getting the kill on bottom side, getting the dragon on bottom side, focusing towards their mid game.
All right, Impact's going to get this wave shoved in at least, as they did have HamBak shadowing to make sure it wasn't just another Josedeodo party.
And huhi roam along with HamBak.
Ooh, finding Josedeodo here in the jungle. Even though that third talent strike did get the knock-up onto HamBak, there's no way for Jose to get away. And this is what we're talking about. Trundle can be so effective against these diver-type champions, as Darkwings now under the pressure from QUID.
Top.
Meanwhile, topside, it's Morgan finally on the receiving end of the gank squad. HamBak's going to pick up another one, and Sentinels take the kill lead.
And you know what makes Trundle really effective? When he's got a Bard roaming with him, because all of a sudden you can go through walls, you have a stun on your team right next to you. huhi here, the veteran, one of the many veterans on the team, making a big difference with some Bard roam timers for the team to go help out HamBak and deal with Jose's assault on the top side. Now he's back bottom end.
Yeah, huhi wrapping around there with a magical journey as Rahel tries to get away, and Yeon is just going aggro, goes on the magical journey to get himself back away, but he's caught by the Tempered Fate as HamBak shows up on the left side flank, and Yeon is out of there. Darkwings takes the kill as CoreJJ is slowed down by the pillar, ace in the hole from downtown to set it up. huhi's gonna grab the kill. Gentlemen, the game is back to dead even.
huhi has unrolled the Sentinels here. When we have Bard, you usually want to start creating plays, creating chaos like this, but one of the best things is to go attack enemy jungle and then do a quick reset and do another play. Bard is one of the best champions at doing that because you can immediately recall, go to another magical journey, and look at the magical journey that Yeon went on. He was like super deep, then flash forward to go for put the pressure on Rahel, still gets caught up here, and huhi is just kind of creating a lot here out of nothing for Sentinels. Making some plays, roaming around, that's what you have to do on this champion. And so you go to your Trundle and you really just open up so many possibilities for what that champion usually cannot do with a lot of the extra CC and a lot of extra mobility afforded to you, has got Sentinels right back to parity here in the mid game. And since they got the early dragon in payment for the topside focus, Jose though.
Yep, Josedeodo has found another AD carry to chase down, but Rahel manages to escape, does have to spend the flash to do it.
Yeah, exactly. The other AD carry, he's got hands. We're going to try this AD carry on for Sass.
We're going to mess with this guy a little bit now. Yeon has to back up here in mid lane as huhi does show up. Make sure that Ezreal doesn't play too audaciously.
Yeah, I mean, HamBak, despite the amazing start for Jose, where it felt like he's gank, HamBak has the same amount of kills, more assists. You know, he's right there in gold and has the Triforce completed. So HamBak is doing really, really well. And Impact, with a little bit of help from his team and some good individual plays, has gotten right back into this game.
Yeah, HamBak's also ahead on 1 in Animal Snackies, so that much closer to getting the fully upgraded Smite.
That's when Jose says, yeah, but that was support diff. That's our favorite phrase. As junglers, everybody else on the map always cries jungler diff, but junglers, we cry support diff.
I'm with you, buddy. It's not my fault. It's his. as Impact now under pressure yet again. Josedeodo once more looking to visit the top lane, finds the wind become lightning on this one. CoreJJ backing him up with the Mantra-empowered Inner Flame. Josedeodo exhausted now by that Varus, and Morgan can't get involved fast enough, so Impact does survive, but again, that's going to cost his exhaust, it's going to force him back, and you can just see the difference here. Morgan's up over 20 farm.
Did Jose's Q3 expire there or something? It looked like when he flashed back in, I assumed he was flashing back in to actually try to knock him up, but didn't have anything there. So I'm kind of curious as to what happened, because that seemed like if you don't have your Q knock-up ready, that seemed like a random flash to me.
Well, hopefully we'll get to take a look at it in the replay and see if that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Kobe's investigating. We got him on the case.
All right, Detective Kobe will figure out whether or not that was the truth, as Impact now under pressure from QUID. The LeBlanc looking for these AD carries yet again. This is what we mentioned in draft. This pick is so powerful against 4 squishies. And I mentioned that, you know, Morgan's up over 20 farm in the top lane. QUID is up 145 to 113 in mid. The solo lanes are very far ahead on the TL side.
I mean, QUID is doing really well in the 1v1. I do think it's a pretty difficult one for Aurora, and QUID is obviously very strong. TP coming in.
Yeah, CoreJJ sidestepping the Tempered Fate, keeping it alive for now, but DARKWINGS has arrived. Core taking a ton of burst here, barely walks away, but the Between Worlds takes him out.
It looks like, so he charges in, and instead of autoing, he casts the ult, and then the Varus was too far out of range. So the Q expires later. He still had it. He charged in and then immediately casted ult.
That's a couple mechanical misplays from Jose, which is pretty rare. He's been so on point this season. The W flash that missed in mid lane, flashing in and going for the ult before the Q, so then Varus gets out of range in top lane. So that's a couple little things that could have gotten them some kills potentially, but TL is still doing pretty well, up 700 gold. But Sentinels took what looked like, we were joking about it because it looked like the game is completely over in the first couple minutes. Sentinels has 2 dragons and is only down 500 gold, so honestly doing a great job.
All right, Jose and QUID looking to make the move onto DARKWINGS here. The Aurora nearly completely out of mana, but he does have HamBak nearby to protect him. Team Liquid still going to acquire the first turret for themselves, though, knocking down the tier 1 in bottom lane. We've got Rift Herald now on the map here, too. 15 minutes and just about 30 seconds on the clock, and you can see huhi prowling around in the top side jungle, trying to maintain control over this area, making sure that if they can't control it entirely themselves, they can at least contest it.
Okay, we've got a new addendum for Jose. He still doesn't get it, but he only got 2 auto attacks off anyway, so he was just exhaust slowed, so he couldn't get in range. So just couldn't get the last one.
Fair enough.
Exhaust slow is good enough.
Team Liquid is going to go ahead and start up the Herald for themselves. huhi and HamBak hanging around. The Trundle not anywhere close to hitting level 11 here just yet, as Impact gets rooted up by QUID. Morgan tosses in a boulder. The Ignite down onto the Varus, and QUID picks up an easy one there. This is a rough game for Impact, and the tier 1 turret is about to fall at the same time. Jose's taking the Herald at the same time. This is a bad time for Sentinels.
I mean, this is the game that every top laner is going to be linking to their teammates when they are playing against a ranged top lane. They're like, hey guys, this is how you do it. Because when you're playing against Varus in an isolated 1v1, you really can't do much in a lot of matchups. It's very hard to win, even if you have a gold advantage, as we saw Morgan get solo killed in a 1v2, even when Impact was behind. But they are punishing him, and huhi in trouble.
Yeah, huhi forced to use the flash there. He was barding a little too hard.
I mean, he's been working overtime this game. I mean, he's been trying his hardest, trying to create plays to get them to, back into the game, and he's the only one still with a gold lead after it because of that, and grabbing a couple of the last hits. But it's really, really hard at this point with the map so overwhelmingly in Team Liquid favor. TL has all of their outer towers. And you have lost both side lane towers, so you just have so much less room to work with. And since Varus, like, you don't never get safer later. You have no flash right now for Impact, and being down so much gold, he's trying to push out, and then like huhi hovers him a little bit, but still there's not a lot of safety on the map for Sentinels, so they're gonna try and create something mid instead.
huhi fires off the Tempered Fate, but Yeon just sidesteps it, confident there. QUID finally shows up here. Finds a big chunk of damage under Rahel. Half HP, all that's left there on the Caitlyn. I also always keep my eye out for battle heralds in these bottom side river fights in the second half of the 10-minute to 20-minute era. So let's see if that's what we get, or if they're just going to use it here. As we do have, oh no, it's another potential kill. Huhi tries to get away, but no, Morgan picks that one up. Team Liquid, they might be down in kills, but they're up over 3,000 gold. The Herald's gonna guarantee they take out the final tier 1 turret. Jose fishes for a little bit more, but no wind becomes lightning on that one. But it's Team Liquid controlling the enemy jungle yet again. Yeah,
I mean, we checked in on it, and last time I mentioned it, it was like 600, 700, 500. It was kind of bouncing around that range. Now it's 3.6K, and TL are just playing the map really, really well. They're constantly pushing out side lanes, which is always their first step. They're forcing Sentinels to respond to those side lanes, and then they're either catching people in transition or overloading one side and getting picks. They're just playing the map so well.
Yeah, if we come back to this last pick LeBlanc that they went for, with a lot of priority on side lanes and being able to push these early and having the towers down, there's a lot of fog of war for QUID to hide in and look for people in transition between objectives. Plus, again, with the team comps, you don't have an easy way to punish LeBlanc when she goes in to poke people. So QUID now with 2 items, 5 stacks on his Dark Seal, even though all the camping and all the focus, was towards the top lane and getting Morgan ahead, and him being a very powerful split pusher and being able to team fight is critical. You also really have to worry about the other solo laner here. The LeBlanc has a lot of free room to play with, I feel like, in this game, and he's added the Proto Belt for even more mobility.
Yeah.
To get more angles at trying to harass either of these AD carries.
More mobility and more damage, just adding that extra little bit on top of your burst combo. Morgan hops out of the Tempered Fate there. Nice reaction to avoid getting potentially caught by Huhi's Bard. 10 seconds until our next Drake spawns. Sentinels has controlled both of them so far, but now they unfortunately find themselves in a position where, once again, just like game number 1, you don't want to take a fair fight in open ground.
No, you really don't. And I mean, Huhi has been playing a really good game. He's been kind of everywhere. He's involved in every one but one of their kills. But it's so hard to hit these Tempered Fates. Everyone has mobility. Everyone has dashes. You could maybe hit a Karma or something, but fully sending it on a Karma is not going to win you a fight when everyone's around. And Ezreal can shift. LeBlanc has double distort. Gnar can hop.
Okay, Rahel again just under pressure here in the mid lane. Chunked down to about 1/4. Impact hanging around on the side. Meanwhile, Josedeodo has worked his way into the fight. Darkwing's going to come try to join here with a TP. As Sentinels, they can't get Impact out right when it looks like he might have got away. The True Shot Barrage finishes him off. It is a 1-5 game for Impact on the top lane, Varus. This is just absolute bullying as HamBak steps forward. Josedeodo a little bit too far up. He just positions way too aggressively. And now Sentinels wants to find a little bit more. Between worlds, drops from Darkwings. Yeon about to die, and the kill comes through for Huhi as Team Liquid finally gets punished.
Yeah, I mean, they punish mid. They're losing their side lanes, but you have to, make a play somewhere. And that is a very good pillar from HamBak. Again, the Trundle pick into the Xin pick. It goes twofold if you can. Wait a second, going side lane now. Morgan is fed, but he's going to have to deal with 4 members of Sentinels.
Yup, here comes the TP just to guarantee it. Rahel and Huhi cutting off the escape. Morgan reverts into mini Gnar. They want to make sure they give this kill to Rahel if they can. And Morgan had just used his teleport to get into that position, so another great punish from Sentinels.
Sentinels always have really good mental. Even when they are losing in the early game, we've had comms listen in from Huhi, hey, it doesn't matter. Still look for the team fight, and they're fighting their way back into it. They just chopped off 2,000 gold from the gold lead that TL had by making a pick mid, then just rotating over to the side lane, picking off the super fed Gnar as well. Really nice stuff here to remain tenacious and still trying to fight their way back in.
Yeah, it's going to come down, I feel like, to, can TL just continue spreading the map, finding these picks? Because Sentinels does have a pretty powerful 5v5, yes, there is a lot of burst, yes, there's a lot of poke on the TL side, but there's tons of consistent damage on Sentinels' team with this double AD carry. If you don't actually, get a kill early or chunk them out early, Rahel is getting strong. Impact is still going to do a lot of damage here on the Varus, despite the fact that he has been put down quite a lot, so you do have to be careful about how you play it out in these 5v5s.
Yeah, Caitlyn with the Hex Optics plus Infinity Edge Power Spike is nothing to scoff at. If they try to go for Rahel and can't take him down in time, he'll be able to fire back very effectively as Morgan makes his way into the enemy jungle yet again. Forces HamBak back here a little bit with the boomerang as Yeon and Core push up mid. They've got Jose and QUID waiting off in the wings just in case Sentinels tries to make a collapse play on the TL bot lane duo. The tier 2 turret is standing still for Sentinels, but not by much.
Yeah, we'll see how much longer they can defend that. 2 minutes until this next dragon. Jose could be in some trouble.
Yeah, Jose caught by the pillar, uses the ulti defensively to knock the Trundle back away from him. Jose is going to be just fine on this one. Remember that in game number 1, TL was on the Nexus right now. So Sentinels putting up a much better fight here in the second one. Team Liquid's mid laner now in some danger. QUID, just another blunder. I feel like this mid game for TL has had so many sloppy mistakes from a lot of different players.
I completely agree. I mean, left and right, they're kind of getting caught. And, you know, insult to injury, you're at 1 HP and you're flashing and you're going to die anyway. So QUID wastes the flash, gets picked. I mean, Morgan got killed on top side, you know, after kind of an overstay, after a pick where Jose stepped into the tower range in mid lane.
Yeah.
It has been a series of bad plays here for TL. And yes, they do still have a slight gold lead, but Sentinels is up a dragon and is getting a lot of kills. I mean, they are up 5 kills here, and that's not everything, but it's showing the TL's getting picked a lot.
And Kobe, you said it earlier, that gold lead evaporated by over 2,000. Remember that TL was just about 3.5K up? Yep. They're barely 1,000 ahead, not even 1,000 ahead anymore. This could still very easily go Sentinel's way. Yes, Morgan is still very far ahead of Impact. TL has focused this top lane Varus a lot, but jungle and both bot lane roles are ahead on the Sentinel side.
Yeah, I mean, the gold graph tells the story here. A couple of mountains there and some comeback points for Sentinels. Let's see if we can focus on the next dragon. It's under 50 seconds already, so can start to get over there, get your vision set up. If you get the vision set up early, then all of a sudden Bard picks or LeBlanc poke, you know, whichever team does get the early setup is going to have a huge advantage, since we've seen a lot of picks recently, and looks like it is going to be Sentinels there first. So TL will have to be checking into Sentinels territory.
Okay, QUID's going to rush towards the brush here. Morgan already in this bottom side river.
Flank from Aurora, possibly. He was pushing on bottom side, though, so TL should know there's an Aurora somewhere on the bottom side of the map.
Look at all the emphasis on move speed here for Sentinels. They have Trailblazer on huhi, they have Deadman's on the Trundle. They know there's not really any hard engage for TL, so it's about, you know, being able to engage, disengage, kite out.
Yep, I love the Deadman's on Trundle. I feel like this adds so much effective power to the champion. QUID hanging around the backside of the Dragon Pit here, looking for his opportunity. Maybe jump in, find some poke, but Tribrush is not going to have any targets for that LeBlanc, as the rest of TL controls the top side of the river, the entrance towards mid lane. Josedeodo going to go ahead, start the Drake up now. Morgan has most of his Gnar bar charged, and you know Team Liquid will be looking to fight with that once it's ready to go. Chains of Corruption flies wide. That's a pretty important ulti to miss, so TL is going to take control over the Drake. Sentinels will walk away without a fight.
Yeah, swing and a miss there. They try and make a little pick. They're like, well, they're probably split right now. Some on Dragon. We could maybe go for the Gnar, but once that misses, as you say, they don't have a lot to work with, so back off. Definitely give this one over while TL are positioned well, and that's just going to bring us to, you know, 2-2 on Dragons here at Flowers. So we'll see how much TL can get done from here forward, having given up a decent amount of their lead.
And I think one of the interesting parts about this game is just how low engaged both compositions are, right? Like sometimes you'll see one team not have a whole lot of go buttons, but yeah. This time around, it's like, okay, so your main engage on the TL side is Morgan jumping in with the Gnar. On the Sentinel side, yeah, you've got Tempered Fate, but again, every time he fires it, you just get this, where whoever's the target hops out.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side, obviously, you're hoping on the Bard, you're hoping on Chains of Corruption, but it's very low engage, and that does mean it's so much down to how you're actually executing with that engage. If you mess up, you can get punished very, very heavily here in QUID, setting up on the side.
Yeah, the tier 2 turret falls immediately. HamBak takes a chunk of damage. Rahel, ooh, that powered up Mystic Shot stings.
Yeah, the poke damage, again, we keep coming back to this, but the poke from the LeBlanc and the poke from the Ezreal, because there's not a lot of good, easy ways to punish, is going to leave a lasting effect. That's just another tower, though. Doesn't completely break it here for Sentinels. They still have some more chances at making picks of their own. huhi right back out onto the map, trying to clear some vision, make some pockets of vision to work with.
Okay, again, just a couple of skill shots flying back and forth, but no which ways to engage. huhi takes a chunk of damage. Ace in the hole blocked by Josedeodo, as it was aimed at Yeon. Sentinels falling back now, but keep your eyes on the right side of the fight as Morgan jumps in with a Mega Gnar, but he doesn't get anything that he wants. Firing back now from the Sentinel side. They find a little bit of chunk onto Josedeodo, but its Impact is about to die first. Sentinels trying to get themselves away as Jose barely lives thanks to the ulti. Both sides taking a beating, but neither one loses a man.
Ooh, they don't lose any lives, but flash on Aurora, flash on the Caitlyn, flash on the Varus, all used right there. So now all these Sentinels carries are going to be very, very conservative with their movements. 3 flashes all linked up, all down, though if they can find a pick, they can't quite take out any of the members of TL in the aftermath. But those things, you're taking that down. Those are 5-minute timers. Dragon's only 2.5 minutes here.
Yep, and Morgan didn't have to spend his flash to actually get any of that. So now you're going into a fight where Morgan has flash, QUID has flash, Jose has flash. Oh, and huhi has a quick trip back to the base.
Yeah, it's a fast recall.
Flash.
Yeah,
Has his flash.
he's got his flash.
Just
That
not
is
his
He
life.
can use once he's alive.
Yeah, if he would have flashed away after LeBlanc already jumped on him, I would have rage quit on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Baron has no flash and is getting focused down by TL.
Yep, your Fed Bard is no longer in the picture. DARKWINGS going to find himself getting caught by QUID here. Chains of Corruption does proc. True Shot Barrage flies out, but DARKWINGS has a nice sidestep, but Sentinels can't do anything about this. Team Liquid's going to go ahead and secure themselves the Baron. Sentinels will try to get something elsewhere in the meantime. They've got Impact in the bottom lane tier 2, but HamBak and Rahel pushing the mid lane tier 2 now in some danger. Morgan just gets headshot, and that's a problem. Well fought from Sentinels as Rahel and HamBak get themselves away. They regroup with Impact, and they punch TL in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, Rahel is really strong right now. He already has his LDR done, so he's on 3 items. He has the C44 Hex Optics. He has his IE and the LDR. That's about as high damage as you're going to get of a build. You walk in there pretty confidently as Morgan. You get Trundle ulted. All of a sudden, you are paper for this play. But here is that initial pick that was a little bit back.
So this is how they start the fight out. You know, some poke traded, and it's really about this teleport on the other side. Morgan here in the fog of war, boom, goes over. Look at all these flashes that are used by the carries of Sentinels as they disengage. Of course, Jose here pops the ultimate once he gets really low to avoid any further damage right there. And the Trundle ult was on him. So the ticks of Trundle ultimate,
I think that to me has to be a reaction to Morgan getting one shot, not to that fight.
Yeah.
So I think that's a reaction to a different play would be my guess. I could be wrong, but that's what that seemed like because they seem mind blown at how fast Morgan died, which kind of makes sense.
that was big damage for sure.
Oh no, producer said it was to that play. So I'm not sure why he was so mind blown by that.
I think they wanted more out of it. Maybe they thought, oh, with this flank, maybe they're going to
get a lot.
We'll have to look at the. We have to look at it and review it again to see.
Well, right now, Sentinels is in the gold lead themselves, even though Team Liquid has the Baron, and now QUID may just die, has to distort backwards to get away over the trap line. Meanwhile, the entire time, you've got DARKWINGS split pushing in the top lane, looking to take it tier 2. TL's got Baron, Sentinels are the ones getting turrets.
Yeah, I mean, that is the Chains of Corruption landing and the amount of damage they can put out. TL will move themselves to Soul Point here, though, and Cloud Soul would be very powerful in a game like this with such little hard CC available. But Sentinels is at a point where, you know, Trundle can just ult whoever walks in, and your double AD carries hit that person will get shredded. Of course, you have the Crescent Guard to try to keep yourself safe, but that only lasts so long, and Rahel now has the Rapid Fire. DARKWINGS just completed the Death Cap. They are getting very strong on this Sentinel side.
Yeah. Caitlyn crits 100% of the time now. Like, this champion cannot be ignored, cannot be disrespected. Rahel has the ability to carry here, and I just got to go back again to so long ago. Hold on, huhi. He was about 3/4 of his HP there. When Team Liquid was 3,500 gold ahead 15 minutes ago, and it was just blunder into blunder into blunder. Just felt like they were playing disrespectfully, felt like they weren't really locked in, felt like they were playing like they had already won. And clearly, they had not.
And you can't do that against Sentinels. Again, this team, I feel like they're always, still in the game until you destroy their Nexus. They're always looking to stay controlled, always looking for just one more team fight, just one angle to get back in. And they have so many veteran players on the team. Lots of these players, have been in losing scenarios before. So until you finish them off, you can't get lax, and you can't give them any windows because they will look to punish. They'll punish you for it and find gold here. And now they've got lots of damage because of it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, we had that play. We showed it a number of times. This was from a previous series where huhi had this calm that we were replaying where he's saying, hey, like they were way down this game. He's like, this game is just one fight. We just need
7,000
one fight.
gold.
And they were down 7,000 gold, and they won that game. So, they definitely are a team that keeps their eye on the prize. They are not going to just fold up and die if you do get an early lead.
But
okay, Sentinels still playing defensively, still playing respectfully, playing with a 1,000 gold lead now. And 3 minutes is that Dragon Soul that you were talking about, Azael. I feel like that is going to be a very big deal if Team Liquid can secure it. Tempered Fate from huhi there once again, just going to be dashed out by QUID. So Sentinels still can't find a whole lot of picks, but Yeon just eats a lot of damage there from Rahel.
And that's going to be the heal forced on CoreJJ, so they do get that out. Now, these carries are strong. Impact obviously still down a ton of gold, but we saw how fast Morgan can die, and it is scary when you are running in as that Gnar. You do not have a lot of safety. If you do not nail that engage, you're going to get burst down very, very quickly by this comp.
Impact might be behind, but he's got his Hexplate plus his Dusk and Dawn, and he's got Seeker's Arm Guard. They have been dogpiling Impact this game, and now he has the anti-dogpile item. This might be the bamboozle Sentinels needs.
And honestly, it's very good for Sentinels if anything does get used on him, because Rahel here is the one that's really the AD carry and is really going to carry the 4 items with having the rapid fire as QUID goes for.
Yeah, QUID jumps in, but he really doesn't get a whole lot out of it. True Shot Barrage also arrives late to the scene, so Yeon won't be able to add any additional damage on top.
Trundle ultimate used here to keep track of him as well. The cooldown's not super duper long, you know, late into the game though, since he's got 3 ranks into it, so probably won't be any fight before that thing does come back up. Should be fine.
Yeah, Baron's in 30, Dragon in 130 here, and TL is going to be looking for that 4 Cloud Dragon Soul, which is a ton of move speed here, especially since they would have all 4 of the clouds to get it.
And I feel like it's so hard to actually kill HamBak for TL now. He's got Spirit Visage. He's going to heal so much from the ulti. He's level 16 now, so he's got the final level of the Subjugate. The only heal cut on the enemy team, unless I'm just missing something, and I don't think I am, is QUID's Ignite, and you don't want to use Ignite on Trundle. QUID needs to find those squishy targets, unleash the full burst, try to get one of those one-shots. I feel like HamBak's in a really good spot. Even though the jungle gold is pretty much dead even, he can do a lot here.
He can. They have a lot of scaling power, a lot of consistent damage, and Morgan might be caught.
Yeah, he's got most of his Gnar bar, so he should be able to at least fight back a little bit here, try to get away. Chains of Corruption again, just not finding the target, so Morgan escapes.
Movement from Morgan here. So many dodges. Gets away from 2 members. Nicely done. Didn't have to use his flash or anything.
25 seconds left until the Dragon, and QUID just lost his passive, got chunked down to 1/3 HP, has to take a recall now. HamBak gonna step around the corner, he interrupts him. HamBak gets a chunk. QUID is down to 10% health now. 15 seconds until the Drake spawns. Tempered Fate again, not gonna find a target though.
Yeah, they're gonna lose positioning, and you can see that double soul laners from Sentinels stayed bot, pushing that in. They're gonna be able to take the mid tier 2, they take the bot tier 2, and QUID is still not back in base.
Yeah, he's taking these greedy recalls instead of stepping a little bit further back, and now that's twice that HamBak has been able to interrupt him. QUID is only just now regenerating that HP, and it's total control over the bot side river for Sentinels.
And TL are sitting on a ward over there. So huhi's going to go harass them while they get Dragon number 3. A banger. This one has turned into quite the banger.
This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted this series to be. This is the match of the week.
On our tilt proof for Impact and shot calling for huhi.
Yep, I agree with that.
Those are my honors this game. And then like big damage for Rahel. That's a new honor. I'm putting it in the game.
Right clicking.
It's just a muscle emoji.
Yeah.
Big damage.
Yeah, there we go. Big damage for him.
Tons
you can
of damage.
see he's got
There
the
we go.
BF
We get
sorted
Freak's
inventory. Yeah, the Freak Award. Well, also we've got the Hourglass fully completed now for Impact, so the Varus that much more capable of surviving as huhi face checks the brush there, does find QUID waiting on him, but QUID has to get out.
And the damage output just got bigger. He got a full Bloodthirster here for Rahel, so he's going to have a shield on top of it.
And critically, the poke starts mattering a lot less once you have that BT, right? And really, TL is pretty dependent upon LeBlanc and Ezreal poking people down before the fight. I don't think fights where you just go in with both teams at full health are going to look good for TL unless you get, a 3-man Gnar ult into the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're just running straight at them when they're full, it's going to be so hard. The consistent damage is just so high now.
Okay, QUID goes in for the burst on DARKWINGS, chunks a third of his HP away, but DARKWINGS isn't in any lethal danger. And this Aurora, we've been talking so much about Rahel's damage, but DARKWINGS has death cap now, right? Like, this Aurora is not something that can also be ignored. I feel like Sentinels have really done such a good job fighting back after TL made those early mid-game mistakes. And I'm really excited for 3.5 minutes from now when we get the guaranteed Dragon Soul fight, because I feel like that's the full send moment.
Completely agree. It's going to be such an important fight. And often this late in the game, I mean, we're almost 40 minutes in, right? So sometimes you have a fight and it just gets one-sided and then the soul doesn't even matter because the game's going to end. Because if you get wiped 40 minutes in, they can just walk it down and kill your Nexus. So if it is a one-sided fight, that could absolutely decide the game right there. And it would be a bit of a tilter for TL to lose a game like this that had
100%.
Such an incredible start on.
It felt like this game was completely locked in for TL until those mistakes, and now they're having to fight tooth and nail just to make sure they can try to stay here with Sentinels. As Josedeodo going to get caught by the pillar, takes a little bit of burst damage. Josedeodo jumps back in, going after Rahel, who sidesteps the True Shot barrage, keeps himself at about half HP for now.
Actually, very good result from a pick, you know, for Jose. He does spend his flash, and he gets Rahel's flash.
Yeah, Rahel's in danger. QUID goes in. He fires back. They can't get the kill on the Caitlyn. And now Team Liquid's going in, looking for the 4v3. They want the pick on the DARKWINGS, and they find it. Morgan's got the kill. Team Liquid wants to get even more. Morgan follows huhi and HamBak through the magical journey. The rest of TL seeing what they can accomplish here. Sentinel's still hanging around the area, but it's 50 seconds until DARKWINGS respawns.
That is a long time with him dead. I mean, Rahel played that very well, just getting so many autos down to heal back up.
Okay, HamBak now making sure that he doesn't get caught. Yeon does so much damage here. So Sentinels falling back, still 2 minutes on the clock until that dragon spawns, so it's not like they can try to take that, and Team Liquid's gonna go ahead and begin the Baron.
Yeah, they're gonna begin it. I don't think Sentinels have anything they can actually do about it. It's so hard for them with no Aurora. They would just be marching into their death, so they're going to give it up.
Giving up that Baron, TL is gonna have control on the map, and that's gonna give them much better positioning around this soul in 130. You know, all the waves are gonna be pushing in their direction. And this fight that started out with looking like it was Rahel that's in trouble ends with DARKWINGS dying. And Sentinels end up having to make the tough call to give that Baron. That being said, at least they pushed out some waves, so it's not like a wave is at their base with that Baron up. And they do have, you know, these double AD carries. They can try their best to clear out these waves and delay things.
And man. Oh, I was just going to say, you can see the last item now being built in Rahel's inventory, going for the Hex Drinker to build into the Maw of Malmortius. He knows QUID is looking for him, and as long as he doesn't die to the LeBlanc, he can turn around and 3-shot QUID.
Yeah, he knows the whole TL team is looking for him, Jose included. I thought he played that really well. Morgan, though, jumps.
Yeah, Morgan's trying to escape, but it's Sentinels who have found their way into the enemy jungle. Morgan eating a ton of damage here as Impact gets a chance for a little bit of revenge. Morgan is caught. Morgan is dropped. Team Liquid trying to get something back, but they can't quite find it. Josedeodo bound to the wall, there with the magical binding. That is such a big pick. It is 55 seconds on Morgan's death timer, 25 seconds on the Dragon Soul. Team Liquid with Baron marching down mid, trying to pull Sentinels away.
Yeah, they're spam pinging towards that middle inhibitor tower, but Sentinels are back here now, and TL have to be careful. They're still down a man.
Sentinels maintaining that position towards the bottom side river. 10 seconds until the Dragon Soul. DARKWINGS hopping away. huhi firing back with the Cosmic Binding. Doesn't find a whole lot. Impact, the only one left near the mid lane, as Team Liquid are going to continue their push down mid. They know that they can't fight a man down into preset Caitlyn traps, so Cloud Soul is going to go the way of Sentinels, but their mid lane inhibitor turret will fall as the price.
Okay, base open, but so much extra move speed. And they can utilize it really, really effectively, too, with the range and the damage output that they have. We saw last time, like, nobody is tanky at all, especially when Trundle is there. Like, they caught Morgan on the bot side, Trundle ult on him, boom, he's just as squishy as anybody else. It's all about making these very quick plays, and you can tell the tension rising so high. Golden Glue is deep in his jacket now.
He's got the jacket pulled up over his face.
Man, I have to say, I keep coming back to that clutch play. Wait a second, though. We're going to have another clutch play.
Is this the clutch? huhi tries to escape. QUID's got him ignited. huhi's still alive for now thanks to the Caretaker's Shrine, but no, he falls. QUID with the pick.
That is a big pick there. Impact, though, so much move speed, able to walk it out thanks to the Cloud Soul. He just popped his ult, got that burst of move speed, is able to get out of there. DARKWINGS is pushing on that top side, but TL might just try to force the issue.
Yeah, TL is saying, we're the ones who get to demand an answer. We're the ones who found the pick. DARKWINGS still only just now pushing past the river, trying to get that wave shoved up. Gonna go ahead and take his recall, because TL has made their way into the Sentinels base. Yeon takes a massive hit from Rahel. That was one auto?
Yeah, one auto through BT shield.
Yeah, that's nasty work. This Caitlyn is causing some problems as DARKWINGS. Got to be a little bit respectful of QUID here as the LeBlanc jumps in over the wall. Mid lane inhibitor now taken down. Team Liquid got that one. They're trying to have multiple points of pressure here with Morgan in the bottom lane, but Sentinels has regrouped enough. huhi has respawned. TL has to retreat.
It's so tense right now. This is incredible. The time to death when someone gets picked is like 0.03 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, you saw Yeon's health there. If Rahel does that auto attack on Karma, on LeBlanc, on Ezreal, and anyone else hits them, they just die.
Yeah.
One auto and something else from DARKWINGS, you're dead from full instantly.
Lore accurate Caitlyn. That is a high caliber rifle. She is not taking any prisoners on this one. Sentinels in the enemy jungle yet again. Remember, this is where they found that last pick onto Morgan. TL knows it. They've got to be respectful. Slowly moving forward, trying to take out some of the vision. Wind becomes lightning to check the brush, and Sentinels will now back away.
And meanwhile, on the other side, to lead up to that siege, we had QUID 100-0ing huhi there and using the Ignite and getting the entirety of the kill without other people adding damage even. So on eggshells, both teams here. Who's going to get the next pick?
1 minute and 40 seconds until Baron, 3 minutes and 15 until the Elder Dragon. I actually think if Sentinels gets Elder Dragon, QUID just can one auto and kill somebody.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a chance.
Like if you get a headshot crit on like CoreJJ, I'm pretty sure you just kill him in one auto with an Elder, but we'll see. Team Liquid backing away from now. HamBak? Nope, not going to be able to trap anybody with that pillar. QUID can just distort away from it yet again.
The Bard is at 670 move speed.
Oh no, Impact, he gets caught. Josedeodo jumps in. Impact about to die. He sidesteps away from the True Shot Barrage, buys himself a little bit of time here with his Zonya's Hourglass. Yeon mistimes the Mystic Shot. Impact staying alive for now, but Morgan finally finishes the job. Now DARKWINGS has to try to get away, but he's at death's door. Team Liquid, they find the pick they're looking for. They get Impact, but what more can they take now?
They're going to try to potentially just go down mid here. It is a long death timer, 50 seconds, and Impact will have no flash. Do they catch him?
Oh, if that catch would have landed, I think that's the end of the game guaranteed right there. Sentinels, though, has to defend. They still have the mid lane inhibitor down.
You guys think we can do anything with this, Baron?
And that's the question, and they're not feeling confident to end, and the Baron timing isn't great. Yes, it will be up before Impact is up, but he will be able to get over there pretty quick with all their move speed. So, thankfully for Sentinels, not a game-ending play. Obviously, misstep there from Impact is punished and won't have flash for the next one, but QUID and Jose both used their flash as well.
Yeah, in order to get that kill. So you have no flash on Impact or DARKWINGS. It's kind of mirrored here with Jose and QUID both investing theirs. It was another good kind of pick from Jose, though, wrapping around the Raptor pit there to find Impact. And now at Baron, gonna go for it again. Nice little ward from Sentinels in the Banana Brush. Does give them a lot of info to work with.
A lot of extra knowledge. Yeon just lost 3/4 of his HP to an auto attack from Rahel. DARKWINGS chunks out Morgan in a nice pillar. Might just lock up the Gnar. Tempered Fate keeps him in place. And now Sentinels is trying to full commit. They take out the enemy top laner. And huhi even gets himself away. Rahel's on a rampage. Yeon's on the run. CoreJJ and the rest of Team Liquid have to try to get out of this one. Impact's revenge is swift. He finds Yeon in the jungle. And now Sentinels can move up and take the Baron with their 5v3 status. And Yeon is not even going to respawn until the Elder is already on the map. Sentinels are guaranteed to have control and priority.
This is huge! Now with the Baron, they should be able to push in towards TL's base. I mean, all TL can really do right now, you see, Jose's trying to take away Blue Buff, a little bit of enemy jungle, but you have to be so quick with these plays, and it just was a little chunk of damage from DARKWINGS into a pillar that allows for the follow-up damage. Look at this, DARKWINGS hovering, goes invisible on Aurora, sees Morgan in mini form, little chunk from him. Boom, you got the headshot into pillar, into Caitlyn ultimate, into Bard ultimate, into trap. And so he's not going to be able to get out of that one. And huhi survives there. really good pick from Sentinels. Everybody has to be firing so quickly.
And now you have to make a difficult choice here as TL, as QUID could be in some trouble.
Yeah, Josedeodo now found. HamBak and huhi looking to lock up this Zhao, but there's no extra damage around 4 Sentinels. Tempered Fate gonna keep both junglers rooted up. Josedeodo is down as the Elder Dragon has already spawned. This is a freebie now for Sentinels.
Bard ults into Caitlyn traps. You're not getting out of there, man. That is just too easy. They get the kill. Jose down. No smite for TL. And Sentinels. So much hard work they have put into this 47.5-minute game. And they've got both of the end game buffs at their disposal to end this game.
And 40 seconds still until Josedeodo is back alive. DARKWINGS and huhi getting things pushed up in the mid lane. Meanwhile, HamBak, Impact, and Rahel have the bottom wave ready to crash into the turret alongside it. Team Liquid, still 25 seconds until Jose is back. Bottom lane inhibitor turret already destroyed. Inhibitor now the next target. Sentinels still have the Baron for another 90 seconds. That Elder Dragon is about to melt some health bars. Health bar, the first Nexus turret is going to drop before anything else, though, as Yeon, just about to die here, gets back into the fountain, but no, the execution is there. Impact goes on a killing spree. Sentinels is just about to take the Nexus. They fought back hard, they punished Team Liquid's mistakes, and Sentinels takes game 2.
In one of the longest games of the split, we were joking about this one seeming like it was over about 5 minutes in, but about 45 minutes later, Sentinels are the one knocking down the TL Nexus.
What a show. Sentinels fight back. The tenacity of this team cannot be understated. Team Liquid is going to want those mid-game mistakes back yesterday. My MVP for this